Coldrops Yard is a set of buildings that date back to 1851, and they were built by Cubit's brothers, who are Victorian architects. And they're really special buildings in the heart of King's Cross, in this huge development that you see around you. The buildings are very special. They're industrial heritage, industrial use. They were London's coal stores, so they were handling 8 million tonnes of coal a year for London.
I was living in a mining village, so I got a job at the pit and worked in a coal mine for 12 months. Coal being something that we were sending to London to fuel the capital, I feel there's a certain connection with the Coldrops Yard, and for me personally a big connection with that area and that space. And I've always been travelling from the Midlands to London and always going past those gasometers and that whole kind of area, that derelict area, and thinking something should happen here, and finally there's an amazing development. It's great to be part of that. I guess historically King's Cross has got intrinsic links to lots of things, not necessarily fashion. Certainly when I first started going to London, it was really the red light district, and in a way almost slightly off limits, kind of dangerous area.
King's Cross became this kind of rich mix through the 1980s and 1990s and 2000s for the subculture world, the clubbing scene, and all the life that brought with it.
The regeneration of it through the regeneration of the two train stations has been amazing, fantastic. Central St Martin's makes it a fashion location because they are one of the greatest fashion colleges in the world. The fact that there's now going to be some really interesting retail around it is definitely going to make it a must-go place.
We wanted to really respect these buildings with the brands that we were going to bring in and bring these buildings back to life.
We were approached probably a couple of years back actually, when they first realised they wanted a more independent voice within the whole area.
We travel to all the trade shows and we travel around Europe. You know, in fact, the countries and the places that inspired Coldrops Yard are the eastern, western seaboards of America, Japan, Scandinavia, Paris and Milan, and of course Britain. And Universal Works is a brand that embodies a lot of those things.
Taking something that's, you know, a Victorian railway building, but making something really modern from it. That's the way we try and approach our design and clothing. Not mimicking something from the past, but being able to understand those aesthetics from the past and try and update it. I guess the lucky thing is that I've got a huge love of clothing, and I like things from the 50s and 60s and 70s and 80s, and I can find inspiration quite quickly and easily just by delving into some of that past. We manufacture on an international scale because there isn't the same level of manufacturing there used to be in the UK, but we still make things in Nottingham as well as in neighbouring Leicester, another factory we work with in the north of England. I'm actually quite excited about taking things from here, and in the same way that coal was dropped, we're going to drop boxes of clothing.
We've been on a journey with Universal Works over the last 3 years, going from just these conversations and dreams to actually making it happen now, and working with their designers and our teams. We're going to create something really very special, not only for the brand and for the building, but for the shoppers that are coming in.
I mean, we're working with some very interesting architects to design the interior. First of all, they were fans of us as a brand, so it was really exciting to work with someone that was excited by us. We want to be simple and honest, but we want to make great clothing and great design and great shapes. I think from an architectural point of view, that's the way they approached it. It's much grander than all the other stores in terms of the way it looks. It's not necessarily bigger, but its height and its scale gives it a very different feel. I guess that a lot of the materials that the architects want to use are reflecting its industrial nature, whilst we're not trying to be heritage or make it vintage looking in any way. It's very contemporary. At the same time, it's reflecting the honesty of the building and the former use of the building through railway sleepers and very simple materials for the whole build, really. And we're also using a lot of mirror.
It's not about just consuming the product. We can get that online, that's okay. It's about being in a physical space and interacting, being part of a kindred thing.
We have a big collection and we want to get it in front of people.
Around here there's 82 languages spoken, and so whatever your budget, whatever your wealth, wherever you're from, you're welcomed into this space.
There is already and continuing to be a growing number of people who work in that area. A lot of those people will not necessarily have heard of us because we're this big. So yeah, of course we hope it exposes us to lots of new clients. We sell clothes, so we want to sell them.
The beauty of King's Cross is everyone can get here really easily. It's always been an amazing place where the North and London have come together, and of course with the Eurostar, Paris is exactly the same time now as Manchester. So King's Cross is by default an international destination.
And Coal Drops Yard is going to be something that people locally, as well as those coming through the two stations, will see and hear about and gravitate to.
We've got 57 shopkeepers who are all bringing that spirit, that community, all together in one special place in London.
It's good to be part of and understand the history of it, whilst not living in it, actually moving it forward.
Coal Drops Yard opens 26th October 2018.